Hi everybody, my name is Nathan Robb from Crazy Amazing Designs. Welcome to another very exciting video. I'm going to put together a series of videos here discussing my worship rig, and in today's videos we want to talk about software aspects. So we're going to dive into Ableton Live 10 and we're going to add songs, multi-tracks into an Ableton project. So I just want to show you how exactly I go about putting multi-tracks in Ableton. So let's dive into the computer here. So there are several different places online you can purchase song multi-tracks from. MultiTracks.com is an option, but today we're going to go to loopcommunity.com. After I purchase a song, I'm going to need to download it so we can use the tracks in Ableton. I'm going to click on my little person icon up here in the top right hand corner, and then I'm going to go to order/files. On this page we can see a full list of the songs we have purchased and the files we have available to download. If you have purchased tracks that are only available on the app, then you will not have this download option available. I'm going to click download and then go find the files on my computer. In most cases the files will go to your downloads folder. So there's Almighty God. Almighty God's the name of the song, 78's the beats per minute, the key of C, and then MT for multi-tracks. So I have a folder on my computer, it's actually on my desktop, called Worship Essentials, and this is where I put all my stuff. I'm going to go to Music, I know this needs cleaned up a bit, and then click on Stem Tracks. And this is where I've put all of my files that I have for multi-tracks. So you can see right there, Almighty God. Now back in Ableton, we are going to navigate to the multi-track or stem folders. On the left side of Live, there's a pop-out menu. In here is the folder we were just working in. So how Ableton works, and this was kind of weird for me in the beginning, this is actually the stem tracks, this is actually a folder on my computer. So if we show in Finder, this is not a folder inside of Ableton, this is a folder inside of the computer. So if we'll see stem tracks here, and this is the exact stuff that's in this folder. What I want to do is I want to import these tracks, these multi-tracks we have here in the arrangement view. There's two different views inside of Ableton. This is the arrangement view, and if I hit tab, this is the session view. So the session view is great. I've seen a lot of different people implement that and use that, but I use the arrangement view because I can add MIDI triggers in there for lights and ProPresenter. So that seems to work very well for me. So what I want to do is I'm going to set up every song I have from beginning to end in my timeline in Ableton's arrangement view, because that way I can easily pull up any song at any time. Our church, we operate weekend to weekend. You know, on Friday I get the script for Sunday. I know it's crazy, but it's how it works, and there's absolutely nothing I can do to change that. So I'm going with the model that maximum preparation allows for maximum preparation allows for maximum. So the more prepared I am, the better I can have everything ready to go. So over here on my left side, we pointed out we've got the tracks, and we're going to start off with 10,000 Reasons. It looks like a simple track. Over on the right side, however, you might think, well, that's getting kind of complicated. Well, I'm just going to get rid of some of this stuff, and as you can see now, it's not quite as complicated as it used to be. Over on the right side, I've got a bunch of junk I don't use up here, and actually I'm just going to delete that because I actually don't really have a reason for that all to be there. We've got a MIDI track. We will use that track in a future video when we start controlling lights through Ableton. I'm just going to rename that DMX because that's for lighting, and then lyrics PP6, lyrics ProPresenter, MIDI notes. So my first section is click and cues. So that's coming out channel 9 on my audio interface, and in that group I've got click and cues. So each individual section I've got them all grouped because I've only got 9 outputs. So click and cues are in 9. My piano is on channels 1 and 2, and that's coming out of main stage on this computer. The next one is acoustic guitar, and that's coming out of track 3. And in that I've got 3 channels that I can put acoustic guitars on. Number 4 is the bass, and bass is just bass. That's all it is in that channel. Channel 5 coming out of my audio interface is piano/pad. This is for tracks, not to be confused with 1 and 2, which are coming out my physical piano that I'm playing. So all the tracks, the pads, the organs, the pianos, that comes out of 5. Number 6 is my drums. I've got drums and percussion, and I've got 2, 3, and 4 different more drum track channel options. So that's number 6, drums. Number 7, I've got my electric guitars. I literally found a song with 8 electric guitars. That's why there's 8 of them. It's crazy. So that's my 8 electric guitars. So that's number 7. Number 8 is my extra. Everything extra, anything extra goes into 8. That's just an extra category. So if we turn on our I/O again, that you can see the outputs here. So the group title is 8 extra. Okay, so all of these you can see are being sent to 8 extra. And then 8 extra is being sent to external out. And if my audio interface was on here, they would be output. They would be being sent to 8. Okay, so right now the audio interface is not plugged in, so I've just got them sent out to 1 and 2, which is my computer speakers left and right, so that I can hear what's going on inside of Ableton without having to have my entire rig set up. So that is a little bit of how I do my setup. So now we're going to go through here and we're going to add a couple things in. If you first open up Ableton and you pull your tracks in and they're not lining up, they don't sound right, go up to Live Preferences, go to Record Warp Launch, and over on the right side in the Warp/Fades option, it says Auto Warp Long Samples. You're going to want to turn that off. That will give you some trouble, so just make sure that's not selected and that's turned off, and your samples, your audio file should work fine now. Okay, so we've got our timeline here. We've got our song we're going to import. One more thing we need to do is we need to check the beats per minute of the song. So 10,000 Reasons, 72 beats per minute, key of A, MultiTracks. So 72. In the top left hand corner of the screen, we are going to type in the tempo of the song. Now that we've got that set to 72, I'll make this a little bigger so we can see it. We are going to select our clicking cues, and we're going to hit Shift and click on cues. Click on the second one. And now I'm going to drag this over here to the clicking cues channel. And I'm going to hit Command, which is going to put the second track underneath the first. And I'm just going to let go of that. I'm going to go to drums, and I'm going to scroll down here and put that in my drum category. Bass, stick that in my bass category. And let's see, organ, that goes in the organ slot. Percussion, that's in drums, that goes there. Piano, that goes in the piano category. Okay, I think I have a mandolin, which is just going to go in the extras. Scroll down here, and we will just stick that in extra number 0. So now if we play our multi-track from the beginning,
2, 3, 4.
sounds really good.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
That is how we set up a song. So now we can go through here and on this top bar, so there's the tracks are down here. See, there's this bar here, and then there's a space, and then there's another space. Up in here, if we go and right click and hit Add Locator, we can do intro, and then maybe listen to what these are, and we can go through here and add a couple of these.
Verse.
So here's a verse. That's another verse. That means this is the chorus. I'm just trying to find the bridge.
Chorus 2, 3, 4. Solo 2.
Solo.
Verse.
Verse.
Chorus.
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 Tag 2, 3, 4. Tag.
Oh, I guess there isn't a bridge in 10,000 Reasons. So what is the point of that, you're asking? So, for example, if I wanted to jump around in my song as I'm playing, so we dive into the intro, we dive into verse 1, we dive into the chorus, and then the tracks go into verse 2, but I really want to do another chorus because Spirit's moving. So what I can do here is in the very top right hand corner of Ableton Live, we're going to hit MIDI, and I can click on my intro, and I can tap a MIDI note on my MIDI controller on any single one of these, and then pushing that button will take me to there. So during the song, if I want to go back, I can just tap that button on my controller, and that will allow me that'll send the tracks back to that chorus or that bridge or wherever you want to go. So you have very good fine control over the tracks with this option. So this is a really cool thing. And also, if you wanted to start your song with the MIDI controller instead of having to go over to your computer and hit enter or whatever, you can just map the intro and then put a little piece of paper on your controller that says intro for 10,000 reasons, and just click on it and you're good to go. So one other thing, the master here, let's just slide that up. This is your master tempo. So this is going to automatically change your tempo. So for each song you want to make this accurate with your song's tempo. So 72, and then for the next song, this is Amazing Grace, the tempo is 98. So at some point between the two songs, it's going to jump from 72 to 98. So that's really important. And if it's at this level, it'll automatically dive into that. So that is something you need to have going up and down through your songs, because I'm going to have a whole bunch of songs in this setup, so we're going to have to do that. Okay, so a couple of additional things I wanted to show you. Once you get your tracks inside of Ableton for a song, click on your top track and then go clear down to the bottom and click on your very bottom track and hold shift and click. And we're going to go and hit arrow up to bring up this section down here, and we're going to click warp. So this is going to bring all these tracks evenly and neatly together to make sure that they move the same. So when you go to transpose a song or change the beats per minute of a song, everything stays in sync. So one last thing I want to show you, see this big gap in between these two songs here? I'm just going to select this time on the timeline. I'm going to go up here above where we right clicked and hit add locator. I'm just going to select all this once again, and I'm going to go up here above that and hit copy. So as you can see, there's a bunch of different options up here, what we can do with time. We can copy and paste and duplicate it. So we're just going to hit paste time, and then you can see it added some time in between, but we want to get rid of all this time, so we're just going to right click here, and then we're going to go up, select all this here, we're going to right click up here, and we're going to hit delete time. So there we go. That's a very important thing to know how to do inside of Ableton. So that's my setup. Thanks so much for watching. Come back for future videos. CrazyAmazingDesigns.com or my YouTube channel. I hope you found something useful in this video that you can apply to your worship setup or your church or whatever it is that you're doing in music. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I will get back to you with hopefully a great answer. If not, I'll try to find an answer, or maybe I'll even do another video for you. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.